My beloved child, there is a moment that arrives in life so quietly that almost nobody notices it at first. It does not announce itself with noise. It does not come with a crowd. It comes like a whisper carried by the wind, and yet it changes everything. Today, you are standing closer to that moment than you realize. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. What is about to be revealed is not something ordinary. It is not something that happens every day. It is a turning point that has been forming behind the scenes while you were focused on surviving, healing, growing, and moving forward. There is someone who truly believed they had taken your place. There is someone who looked at your silence and assumed your story was over. There is someone who watched you step back and mistakenly thought they had stepped ahead. But what they do not understand is that heaven does not measure victories the way people do. Heaven sees what nobody else sees. Heaven sees every tear that was hidden. Heaven sees every sacrifice that went unnoticed. Heaven sees every moment when you chose dignity instead of revenge, faith instead of fear, patience instead of panic. And because heaven sees it all, heaven is preparing a response that nobody expects. Right now, there is a shift taking place that cannot be seen with ordinary eyes. While others have been watching appearances, something deeper has been moving. While others have been counting temporary wins, something eternal has been arranging permanent outcomes. This is why you must stay with me. Do not skip. Every word matters. Every moment of this message is connected to what is coming next. Because what begins as a small revelation will become something much bigger before this message is over. There was a time when you questioned your own worth. There was a season when you wondered why doors closed, why people changed, why opportunities disappeared, why certain situations seemed unfair. You searched for answers. You searched for meaning. You searched for understanding. Yet many answers never arrived. Instead, there was silence. And sometimes silence can feel heavier than rejection itself. But what if that silence was never empty? What if the silence was actually preparation? What if the delay was protection? What if every closed door was preventing you from walking into something that would have distracted you from your true destination? Listen carefully because this next part is important. The person who believed they had replaced you looked only at the surface. They saw a position. They saw attention. They saw temporary recognition. They saw circumstances. But they never understood the deeper value that cannot be copied. They never understood the character that was built through struggle. They never understood the strength that was created through adversity. They never understood the wisdom that was born from lessons. They never understood the resilience that came from surviving storms. And because they never understood those things, they assumed they could simply step into your place and become what you were. But heaven knows something they do not know. A position can be imitated. A title can be borrowed. An opportunity can be inherited. But purpose cannot be duplicated. Purpose is personal. Purpose is unique. Purpose is assigned. And what heaven has assigned to you was never designed for anyone else. There is a reason you found this message today. There is a reason these words are reaching you right now. The timing is not random. The connection is not accidental. Something huge is waiting for you. Stay till the end. Do not skip. Because the next revelation changes everything. There are moments when people celebrate too early. They assume the race is over before it has finished. They assume the story is complete before the final chapter has been written. They assume the outcome is decided while heaven is still working behind the curtain. And that is exactly what has happened here. Someone became comfortable. Someone became confident. Someone became convinced that the future belonged to them. They looked around and saw no challenge. They looked ahead and saw no obstacle. They looked behind and assumed you would never rise again. But heaven specializes in unexpected reversals. Heaven specializes in restoring what others considered lost. Heaven specializes in opening doors that nobody thought could open. Heaven specializes in creating opportunities where none seemed possible. Think about how many times history has surprised people. Think about how many times the person counted out became the person celebrated. Think about how many times the overlooked individual became the unforgettable one. Think about how many times the quiet season was actually preparing a powerful comeback. The pattern repeats itself again and again because people often judge too soon. They focus on the current chapter instead of the complete story. They focus on the present scene instead of the final outcome. They focus on what they can see instead of what heaven is arranging. And now that same pattern is unfolding around you. The pieces are moving. The timing is aligning. The preparation is nearing completion. You may not see every detail yet. You may not understand every step yet. But something is happening. Something significant. Something that will make many people look twice. There is another truth you need to hear. Sometimes the greatest mistake a person can make is believing that another person's setback automatically becomes their own success. That belief creates false confidence. That belief creates blind spots. That belief creates arrogance. And arrogance often prevents people from recognizing what is actually taking place. While they were focused on replacing you, heaven was focused on preparing you. While they were celebrating appearances, heaven was building substance. While they were watching the outside, heaven was strengthening the inside. And when substance finally meets opportunity, the results become impossible to ignore. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because we have only begun to uncover what is really happening. There are conversations taking place that you know nothing about. There are opportunities moving closer that you cannot yet see. There are connections being formed that will matter later. There are answers already on their way. The fascinating part is that most of these developments are happening quietly. No announcements. No dramatic signals. No obvious signs. Just movement. Strategic movement. Purposeful movement. Hidden movement. The kind of movement that becomes visible only when the timing is right. And when that timing arrives, everything starts making sense at once. You have probably noticed something lately. Certain things that once felt impossible now seem strangely possible. Certain fears that once controlled you have begun losing their power. Certain questions that once kept you awake no longer carry the same weight. This is not random. This is evidence that change is already beginning. Before heaven changes circumstances, heaven often changes perspective. Before heaven changes the environment, heaven often changes the individual. Before heaven reveals the breakthrough, heaven prepares the person who will receive it. And perhaps that preparation has been happening inside you for longer than you realize. The story is not ending where others expected it to end. The chapter is not closing where others assumed it would close. In fact, what many people considered the conclusion was actually the setup for a new beginning. That is why you cannot leave now. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The reversal that is approaching is not about proving people wrong. It is not about revenge. It is not about competition. It is about alignment. It is about purpose finding its rightful place. It is about truth becoming visible. It is about what belongs to you finding its way back to you. And when that happens, the change will feel both surprising and familiar at the same time. Surprising because of how quickly things shift. Familiar because deep down you always sensed that your story was not finished. There is power in remembering who you are during seasons when others forget. There is strength in remaining faithful during moments when others doubt. There is wisdom in continuing forward when others expect you to stop. And every one of those choices has been adding up. Every act of perseverance. Every moment of patience. Every decision to keep going. None of it has been wasted. None of it has been invisible. None of it has been forgotten. Heaven remembers. Heaven records. Heaven responds. And the response that is approaching carries more significance than you currently understand. As this message continues, hold on to one thought. The person who believed they had taken your place never truly understood your value. They understood visibility. They understood appearances. They understood temporary circumstances. But they never understood purpose. And because they never understood purpose, they never realized that what heaven assigns cannot be stolen. What heaven prepares cannot be erased. What heaven intends cannot be permanently blocked. The timing may change. The route may change. The process may change. But the purpose remains. And right now, purpose is moving closer than ever before. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because what seems like a simple reversal today may soon become the beginning of the greatest chapter your story has ever seen. A quiet realization is beginning to spread through places you cannot yet see. The shift that was mentioned before is no longer only a possibility. It is becoming a reality. Stay till the end. Do not skip. Something huge is waiting for you. What makes this moment so powerful is that the people around you may not notice the change at first. They may continue speaking as if nothing is different. They may continue believing the same old story. They may continue assuming that the chapter they created in their minds is the chapter that will define your future. But heaven is preparing a surprise that will challenge every assumption. There is a reason certain doors did not open when you expected them to. There is a reason certain opportunities seemed delayed. There is a reason some people walked away while others suddenly changed their behavior. At the time, none of it made sense. At the time, it felt confusing. At the time, it felt like pieces were falling apart instead of coming together. Yet now a hidden truth is beginning to emerge. The pieces were never falling apart. They were being rearranged. Every delay was creating space. Every closed door was redirecting your path. Every unexpected change was moving you closer to something greater than you imagined. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because what happens next in this story is something very few people see coming. The woman who believed she had taken your place was focused on what she could see. She saw attention. She saw temporary success. She saw moments that looked impressive from the outside. But she never saw the deeper process taking place behind the scenes. While she was looking outward, heaven was working inward. While she was focused on appearances, heaven was focused on foundations. And foundations always matter more than appearances. Think about a building. People admire the visible structure, but the strength comes from what lies underneath. The same is true in life. People celebrate what they can see, but heaven invests in what cannot be seen. That is why your journey has looked different. That is why your process has taken longer. That is why your preparation has felt deeper. You were not being overlooked. You were being built. And now something remarkable is beginning to happen. The very qualities that others ignored are becoming your greatest advantage. The patience you developed. The wisdom you gained. The strength you discovered. The resilience you built. All of it is becoming valuable in ways that could not be understood before. This is why you must keep listening. Stay till the end. Do not skip. Something huge is waiting for you. There are moments in life when everything changes because of one revelation. One conversation. One opportunity. One connection. One unexpected opening. Most people imagine those moments arrive with warning signs, but often they appear quietly. They arrive on ordinary days. They arrive when nobody expects them. They arrive when people have already stopped looking for them. And that is exactly why so many people miss them. But you are not meant to miss what is coming. You are meant to recognize it. You are meant to step into it. You are meant to embrace it. Heaven has not brought you this far just to leave the story unfinished. Heaven has not guided you through every challenge just to stop before the breakthrough. Heaven has not been preparing you all this time for nothing. The truth is that a reversal is already beginning. It may not be visible to everyone yet, but the momentum is growing. The pieces are aligning. The timing is approaching. The opportunities are moving closer. What once seemed distant is becoming reachable. What once seemed impossible is becoming possible. What once seemed lost is finding its way back into alignment. Stay till the end. Do not skip. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the next phase of this story is not about what someone else thought they gained. It is about what was always meant for you. The future is not being written by assumptions. It is being shaped by purpose. And purpose has a way of returning to the person it was created for. As the days move forward, pay attention to small signs. Pay attention to unexpected opportunities. Pay attention to new ideas. Pay attention to surprising conversations. Sometimes heaven introduces great change through small beginnings. Sometimes the biggest transformations start with the smallest moments. And when those moments arrive, they often seem ordinary until you look back and realize they changed everything. The most powerful part of this message is not that a reversal is coming. The most powerful part is why it is coming. It is coming because purpose cannot be replaced. It is coming because authenticity cannot be copied. It is coming because what heaven designed for you carries your name, your journey, your lessons, and your unique story. No one else can fully step into that place. So keep moving forward. Keep believing. Keep growing. Keep preparing. The chapter ahead holds more than you currently understand. And while others may still be looking at yesterday's version of the story, heaven is already working on tomorrow's reality. The moment is approaching. The shift is growing. The answer is getting closer. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because what is ahead is not simply a change in circumstances. It is the beginning of a new season, a new perspective, and a new chapter that will reveal why every step of the journey mattered. A remarkable truth is beginning to reveal itself, and very few people are prepared for it. Stay till the end. Do not skip. Something huge is waiting for you. The reason these words matter so much right now is because you are standing in a season where appearances are about to lose their power. For a long time, people judged your story based on what they could see. They measured your progress by visible results. They measured your value by temporary circumstances. They measured your future by your present situation. But heaven never measures people that way. Heaven looks deeper. Heaven looks beyond the surface. Heaven looks at the heart, the character, the perseverance, and the purpose that continue to exist even when nobody else notices. There is someone who became comfortable believing that your chapter had ended. They saw a quiet season and assumed it was a permanent condition. They saw delays and assumed they were defeats. They saw obstacles and assumed they were final conclusions. Yet what they never understood is that preparation often looks like waiting. Growth often looks invisible. Progress often happens beneath the surface long before anyone notices the results. That is why what is about to happen will seem surprising to many people. They were watching the wrong things. They were paying attention to appearances while heaven was preparing reality. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the next part of this message reveals why the reversal is becoming unavoidable. Every season carries lessons. Every challenge carries wisdom. Every setback carries preparation. While others were focused on replacing you, you were becoming stronger. While others were focused on proving themselves, you were developing depth. While others were chasing attention, you were building substance. And now those differences are beginning to matter. Imagine a tree growing beneath the ground before anyone sees it rise above the surface. For a long time, nothing appears to be happening. People walk past it. People ignore it. People assume there is no growth at all. But underneath, roots are spreading. Strength is developing. Stability is forming. Then one day the growth becomes visible, and people wonder how it happened so quickly. What they fail to realize is that the visible growth was the result of a hidden process. The same is true for you. What is coming next may seem sudden to others, but it has been developing for much longer than they realize. The title of this message carries a truth that cannot be ignored. A woman thinks she took your place, but heaven is about to reverse everything. Notice that the title does not say she permanently took your place. It says she thinks she did. There is a difference between perception and reality. There is a difference between assumption and truth. There is a difference between what people believe and what heaven knows. And right now, that difference is becoming more important than ever. Stay till the end. Do not skip. Something huge is waiting for you. Because there are forces of timing and purpose working together in ways that cannot be fully understood yet. Certain doors are beginning to open. Certain opportunities are beginning to move closer. Certain answers are beginning to emerge. You may not see all the evidence today, but the momentum is already building. Every day brings new alignment. Every day brings new preparation. Every day brings new possibilities. One of the greatest surprises in life is discovering that what seemed lost was actually being protected. Think about that carefully. Sometimes people mourn opportunities that were never meant to stay. Sometimes they chase paths that were never meant to lead them forward. Sometimes they hold on to expectations that no longer match their purpose. But heaven sees the entire picture. Heaven sees where each road leads. Heaven sees what every decision creates. Heaven sees what must be removed in order for something greater to arrive. This is why your story has not followed the path others expected. This is why your journey has looked different. This is why certain events happened the way they did. You were not being abandoned. You were being redirected. You were not being forgotten. You were being prepared. You were not being replaced. You were being positioned. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because a powerful realization is approaching. The people who underestimated you did so because they only understood your past version. They knew who you were before the lessons. They knew who you were before the growth. They knew who you were before the transformation. But they do not fully understand who you have become. And that misunderstanding is about to create a shocking contrast between their expectations and reality. The future belongs to those who continue growing even when nobody is watching. The future belongs to those who keep believing even when circumstances look uncertain. The future belongs to those who refuse to let temporary situations define permanent identity. And that is exactly why this season matters so much. What you have been building internally is preparing to produce visible results externally. There are moments when heaven allows people to reveal their true intentions. There are moments when masks fall away. There are moments when motives become visible. There are moments when truth rises to the surface. Those moments can feel uncomfortable while they are happening, but later they make perfect sense. They show you who was genuine. They show you who was temporary. They show you who celebrated your growth and who secretly doubted your future. Every revelation serves a purpose. Now another shift is approaching. A shift in perspective. A shift in recognition. A shift in understanding. People who once overlooked your value may suddenly begin noticing it. Opportunities that once felt distant may suddenly feel close. Situations that once felt complicated may suddenly become clear. This is often how heaven works. Long seasons of preparation can lead to moments of rapid change. Stay till the end. Do not skip. Something huge is waiting for you. Because what happens next is connected to everything that came before. Every lesson. Every challenge. Every delay. Every disappointment. Every victory. Every step has been leading toward a moment of alignment. A moment when purpose and opportunity meet. A moment when preparation and timing come together. A moment when what seemed impossible suddenly becomes real. The reversal is not about taking something from someone else. It is about restoring alignment. It is about putting purpose where purpose belongs. It is about bringing clarity where confusion once existed. It is about revealing truth where assumptions once ruled. And when truth becomes visible, everything changes. So continue moving forward with confidence. Continue trusting the process. Continue believing that your story is still unfolding. Continue remembering that heaven's timing often surprises those who rely only on appearances. The chapter ahead is carrying more significance than you know. The answers are closer than they appear. The opportunities are nearer than they seem. The preparation is almost complete. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the next chapter will reveal why every challenge, every lesson, and every season was preparing you for a reversal that nobody expected but heaven planned all along.